This is Transwarp Drive. I am Anna Hudak. Transwarp Drive is a series of articles written by yours truly. This is the audio version of those for those who prefer to listen rather than read. If you prefer to read, though, check the show notes for a link to the article on either Revue or Substack. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy. Today's reading comes from the Substack article, Reflections Number 1. Enjoy. I know it's taking time to get articles out. I canceled an article that was supposed to be out by now. It was going to be about the original Tron movie, mainly because I had writer's block that I could not overcome. So, I am working on a few other articles at the moment. Until then, here is a new series that I will be releasing between articles when it's taking me a while. The plans for this series are for me to discuss what science fiction media I have been getting into lately in a general sense, and also serve as an update on my progress in article writing. Let's get started in the first edition of this series. The Memory Librarian. I have never been much of a fiction reader, always preferring nonfiction, even as a small child. This year, though, I have been trying to expand my horizons and read fiction. Honestly, I haven't done much reading, but I have read a few interesting books this year. I read Noor by African futurist author Nnedi Okorafor, and How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. I highly enjoyed both titles, and do recommend them. That was early in the year, though, and to be frank, I have been slacking off. Okay, I've read a few fantasy books this year as well, but you're here for science fiction talk. I was recently at a local library branch and browsing the science fiction new releases section, and saw The Memory Librarian by Janelle Monáe. I would be lying if I said I was familiar with her works, though I do know she is a critically acclaimed musician. After quickly browsing Goodreads and seeing that the book had good reviews, I picked it up. I'm honestly glad I did. I'm not too far in the book yet, just finished the first short story actually, but it's fantastic so far. It's an interesting world, even though I'm not really sure that I understand it yet, but I also know it's a part of a series that started with her music and emotion picture. So maybe listening to the album and watching the video will provide more context to this world. I understand the message that's being told, it's just the world that confuses me. That being said, it's truly enjoyable so far, and I am likely to write an article on this. If not, then I'll just give more thoughts on it when I finish it in the next Reflections article. Monken Robot. Speaking of books I enjoy, let's dive into the Monken Robot series by Becky Chambers. Last year, I read her book A Psalm for the Wild Builds when it was new. It honestly might be the most pleasant book I have ever read. When a sequel was announced for this July, I was excited enough to pre-order the book. Reading has been slow, life has been busy, but I have been reading through the new book, A Prayer for the Crown Shy, before I go back and reread the first book, and then read the new book again. Crown Shy isn't a long read, neither is the first book really, but it has been quite pleasant so far. I genuinely did not think the first book was going to get a sequel, nor did I think it needed a sequel, but so far, it's proving me wrong. This is a worthy sequel. It feels like an extension of the first book. It's nice coming back to this world and visiting Moss Cap and Dex again. It's refreshing, honestly. These are comfort books. I definitely intend to discuss these books in more detail, and it will probably be a paid subscriber exclusive. Star Trek Prodigy. I'm going to be straight up. I don't like Star Trek Discovery at all. I dislike it so much I never bothered to watch any of the other new Star Trek shows until Prodigy came out. What made me watch Prodigy when I wouldn't watch Picard or Lower Decks? Because it's a kid's cartoon. If anything could escape the dreary, everything in the future sucks actually, depression tour of discovery, it would be this show. You know what? So far, it has. This show has recaptured the magic of Star Trek, but in a way to appeal to children. Sure, I have my gripes with it. I mean, a hologram that reminds Starfleet officers on how to do their jobs? Seriously? But I can't help but love it. Mainly after Dahl got humbled, of course. If you're someone like me who is disillusioned with Star Trek after the J.J. Abrams films and Discovery, this children's cartoon may be what reignites your faith that this franchise can work in modern times. That is everything I have for today. Thank you for your patience. I am working on several articles that should hopefully be out soon. I have a Discord server for Transwarp Drive. The link is included by clicking on the words Discord server for Transwarp Drive. That is devoted to talking science fiction, and also has channels for real-life science and fantasy. We have a few members already, and while it's not super active due to so few members, we have had a few good conversations, and would love to have more members to add to the fun. Thank you all for reading this article, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe and share this with others. Thank you for listening to this episode and for supporting this show on Patreon. Have a great day. Peace.